Good evening, everybody. How's everyone doing? Can't believe I didn't beat Chels here. Cannot believe it. I even thought that we were starting at 8 for some reason. I set up the stream. I don't know. Anyway, Chels, I am not leading by example. I did not get my steps in. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate it. A lot happened today on the AI front. Oracle reported, I've been going through the numbers. I reread the press release, updated my numbers, want to get into it. Before we do, please read the disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I have no idea what your situation is. Please do your own due diligence. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. If anybody else happens to come on, take anything they say with a grain of salt. Do your own due diligence. And please, remember, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right, Lena, what's going on? Chels, what's going on? KK, what's going on? Stars here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I am a grain of salt. That's pretty funny. All right. June, what's going on? And just so everyone is aware, we're going to show a picture real quick. Before we get into the actual AI stuff, before we get into all that stuff, where is it? Of course, I just got an idea that popped into my head, and now I don't know where the damn picture is. Oh, here we go. All right. So at one point today, I was having issues getting a flight. Some reason my credit card was getting declined. Now, this is not going to be me. I promise you. I have a passport. I promise you I have a real ID. Ultimately, the website that I was using is supposed to send two-factor for flights to Visa. It wasn't. I had to call Visa and have them push it through. But I will be on a flight to California on the 26th. This will not be Chris and I in the airport. I can promise you that. So everybody that's going to the LA meetup, the hotel is booked. The plane ticket is booked. I will be there. Been texting with a couple of people that are going. I'm excited that I decided to go out the night before. I know Chris and Amit are flying out the night before. Erwin's going the day before. I think a couple other people. I know Ray and Michelle are coming in Friday. So really looking forward to seeing everybody. It's going to be a blast. With that being said, and me having my actual plane ticket, let's get into Oracle. So this was a great quarter. June may come early. Look at that. Look at that. So Oracle's kind of been the outcast in the whole AI realm. Here's where we are. Their remaining performance obligations are $553 billion. It's up 325% year over year. Their cloud revenue, infrastructure plus software, $8.9 billion, up 44% year over year. Cloud infrastructure revenue came in at $4.9 billion this quarter, up 84%, where database cloud revenue increased 35%. Multi-cloud database revenue increased 531%. Q3 cloud application revenue increased 13% to $4 billion. Q3 Fusion Cloud ERP up 17%, $1.1 billion. NetSuite Cloud ERP up 14%, $1.1 billion. The last two are very important for several reasons. Dookie Pie's here. You didn't miss anything, just getting started. So when we talk about the SaaS apocalypse, okay, I have said for the longest time, C-suite executives are not getting rid of their back office ERP solution because Johnny and Maddie, well, I shouldn't use Maddie because of Matt, but Johnny and Timmy vibe coded a makeshift ERP system on Claude or whatever. We're just going to go replace Workday, SAP, or Oracle. It's not happening. Numbers are showing you. Fusion increased 17% and NetSuite increased 14%. Oracle is one of the largest back office ERP systems. I truly believe SaaS, the upper end of SaaS is fine. You're not running a large corporation on a homegrown freaking Access database vibe coded thing. It's not happening. I don't care how many 20-year-olds or 18-year-olds or 22-year-olds want to tell me it is. It's not happening. I'm part of an executive team that makes those types of decisions. I know what happens in those decisions, how they're made. I've run the RFPs, legitimately run them. I've run implementations for large-scale software. I've been doing it a long time. The reality is that larger corporations cannot move away from these platforms, at least at this stage. And I think it's even more unlikely that you see vibe-coded stuff replace security systems such as a CrowdStrike, an Arctic Wolf, those types of things. C-suite executives are not betting their careers on a decision like that, nor are CTOs and CIOs going to give it the nod. I'm not buying it. Now, Oracle, we know the story. The story is about how much they're spending. Sure, the 20-year-olds will call me a boomer that I refuse to see the future. The reality is they're not the ones making the decisions. They're just not. So I'm not saying it can't change in the future. I'm saying right now that this is not the narrative. So let's get into the numbers that are scary and the numbers that are interesting. All right. So this is Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, and Oracle's Capex from 2021 through the TTM. Now, I have it through the TTM because Microsoft, Apple, and Oracle do not report on a calendar year, so they have an extra bar in the chart and some extra data. Where it stands right now, on a year-over-year basis, Oracle has increased their CapEx by 127%. Since the 2021 fiscal year, their CapEx has grown by over 2,100, not 210, 2,100%. They are playing catch up. And the reason I made the chart or the slide like this, I wanted to show the numbers with the year over year and also the 2021 to TTM. But I wanted to show it visually also because I don't think it's one thing to hear me say the numbers. It's another thing to visualize how much they're playing catch up. I mean, this is a company that went from spending 6.9 billion in 2024 to 48 billion in the TTM over a 2-year period. It's the amount that they're deploying is crazy in CapEx. Here's what I don't like about it, and here's what I love about it. And right now, I kind of have a love-hate relationship. So we're going to look from cash from operations. Oracle's spending all that money on CapEx. They're not monetizing it. I'm sorry, they're not. The reality is that on a year-over-year basis, they're the worst in the group. And I throw Apple in there as a baseline. They're the worst in the group. 12.93%. Since 2021, The only company that they have beat on a growth perspective from cash from operations is Apple. They're not growing nearly as quickly as Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, or Microsoft. Yet they are rapidly approaching the levels of CapEx that they are spending. They may even catch them in 2 years from now. I don't know when they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to do it. But at the rate that they're moving, if we go back a slide, you get another year of 100% plus year-over-year growth. They may not just catch, but all right, they're not going to exceed, because Meta's going to do over 125 billion, but they may catch up to Meta. Microsoft, who knows? I think Microsoft's going to come over the top and come out with a big number over the summer. But you can see where I'm getting at. Their number is likely to get to 80 to 100 billion in their 27 fiscal year. It's a huge amount of CapEx for not a lot of growth in cash from operations. And I think that this is what has a lot of people torn. We can see the fruits of the labor in the infrastructure and software segments of cloud within Oracle's numbers. It's there. But they're not monetizing the cash from operations right now. Double-edged sword. Short term, I think this could be a big negative. But on the long term, if you have 2 to 5 years, this may be a really interesting time to get involved in Oracle, only because I think they're 2 years behind everybody else. And when you have a $500 billion plus in RPO on the books, I think that we can see them get into that yellow bar of growth and then green and then orange. 27 could be a year where they see a substantial jump. I look at this, and from the short-term perspective, I hate the numbers. I absolutely hate them. I despise them. But then I have to get past my bias about value and profitability and say, okay, Oracle is a company that's likely not going away. Oracle is a company that has staying power. They're probably one of the only outsiders that can step in and box with Amazon, Alphabet, and Microsoft. Can they win, though? Maybe. Yet to be seen. Now, the next thing that's very scary is when you put together their liquidity, debt, and free cash flow. They now have just over 38 billion in cash and short-term investments on the books, with another 677 million in marketable securities. Long-term debt increased to 124.72 billion. Their net liquidity is negative $85.6 billion. Cash from operations is 23.5 billion in the TTM, with Capex expanding to 48.25 billion, negative free cash flow of almost $25 billion. These numbers are not pretty by any means. But here's where the rub is, okay? You can look at a cash flow statement, you can look at a balance sheet and say that this is a problem. At the same time, Oracle's got the earnings power to fund the expansion. Here's where it gets even more interesting. These numbers aren't updated yet. Let me check right now if the street has updated their numbers yet. Usually it updates the next morning. Not updated yet. The numbers are still the same. So Oracle at these prices, okay, trading at the lowest multiple on this year's earnings, the lowest multiple on 2028 earnings, with more earnings growth than Meta, Microsoft, and Alphabet. Nvidia and Amazon have more EPS growth than Oracle. So now it's a question of what profitability metrics do we care about? And where do we see Oracle going? And Lena, I'm going to answer your question because it's an amazing question. But why, Steve? Just buy Amazon and Nvidia. I agree with you to an extent. I have a large position in Nvidia, and I have a position in Amazon that I want to scale. I'm going to answer. I'm going to make a note and answer this other question. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. Let me just scroll back up. I want to make a mental note of some of these questions. Okay. And Dookie, Camco is that a new one? Haven't you been on that in a while? And Tommy Dimes, I agree. I need it under 100. But let's answer Lena's question. The reason why Oracle is interesting is because the market is not believing the forward story. And when we look at these numbers and then we go back and look at the previous slides, we see a direct correlation when Alphabet, Amazon, Microsoft, and Meta scale their Capex. We see a direct correlation to tremendous cash from operations growth. Oracle just started playing in this camp, and they have to spend so much more aggressively to catch up in order to book the remaining performance obligations, which could make this a very interesting play because when the market is having you trade, and I get NVIDIA's trading there also, I get it. But when the market has you trade at 14 times forward earnings, they do not believe in the forward growth narrative. I think Oracle's 2 to 3 years behind Amazon, Microsoft, and Alphabet. Now, when I look at this from a value perspective, I think that this is a situation where Oracle's not a play for the next 3 months or next 6 months. I think it needs significant time to blossom. But you got a couple of years, Oracle's looking really interesting because the next 2 years of deployment of CapEx should allow them to have a 2024 and 2025 fiscal year in profitability growth the way that Alphabet and Meta did, and even Microsoft did. And that's the story with Oracle here, is that their numbers are starting to look very interesting on a business segment. And when you look at where they're trying to get to and where everybody else has gotten from the spend on CapEx, Oracle could break out next year, could break out this year. I don't know when it's going to break out. I thought that Oracle would have been down after hours. I'm still not convinced it's not going to go down tomorrow or the rest of this week. But Oracle may have the most risk return here because they haven't entered the hyper growth phase. And when you think about news cycles, their news cycle for hyper growth could be the next 2 to 3 years. Maybe that's true. Maybe that's not. I don't know. But I think that Oracle is very interesting. I like the numbers out of the quarter. And when you go through it, they straight up said most of the increase in RPO in Q3 related to large-scale AI contracts where Oracle does not expect to have to raise any incremental funds to support these contracts, as most of the equipment needed is either funded up front via customer prepayments, so Oracle can purchase GPUs, or the customer buys the GPUs and supplies them to Oracle. I think that that's huge for them, huge. So we're going to see what happens. The AI landscape is playing out. I think these companies are too cheap. I think these are the new value companies, even though they're growth companies. And I agree. I don't like the massive debt. I hate the debt. It's the one thing I hate. But all the hyperscalers are taking on debt right now. The difference is Oracle has a negative net debt liquidity position, which scares me. And that's the other reason why I think that this is going to take a couple of years to flush out. No, Clark, that's incorrect. The last article I wrote on Oracle was last April at 142 or something like that. I haven't written an article about Oracle in a good 11 months. I actually checked a couple hours ago. I don't like NVIDIA. I love NVIDIA. I think NVIDIA is one of the most undervalued companies in the market. Now I forgot the other question I wanted to answer. So I'm going back and looking for it. Oh, where is it? I can't find it. Oh, well. I cannot find it. So Oracle, very interesting. If the market doesn't sell it off, this could be a turning point for the rest of the hyperscalers. I don't know when that's going to happen. I look at Amazon, got 50% EPS growth over the next 2 years, and it's trading at 18.2 times forward. I mean, I don't know how you don't like that. I don't think Oracle's earnings are going to take down the semis. I think their Oracles were very good. And I agree with Chels. I mean, I'm adding to Amazon. I like Amazon a lot. I think I think they're all being very disrespected. Everybody knows my take on it. And I think Oracle's earnings just solidified that take that the demand is obviously there. You don't grow your revenue in cloud by 44% if there's no demand. The one common theme, forget CapEx, the one common theme we are seeing across the board is demand is there for cloud infrastructure. And if demand is still there, and we just had Oracle tell us the same thing the other hyperscalers said, and they validated the future spend, I don't know how we can intellectually say Oracle, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, and Alphabet are incorrect. I don't know how we can intellectually say that these companies are incorrect in what they are saying, incorrect in the narrative. If this was one of them, sure, they're going off the reservation and making a bet. But every single one of them is saying enterprise clients are spending and have to spend more. I agree, Raven. Too many AI bears in the market currently. These are the best companies in the market. They're the most profitable, they have the largest balance sheets, and the largest cash flows. Oracle's the one that's in a bad debt situation, but they can afford it. I don't know why we're getting scared of this narrative, and I think it's going to break at some point soon. I really do. Oracle was the one everybody was hanging their hat on, I feel like, waiting to see what happens. Is there going to be a crack in Oracle that's going to bleed into the others? We didn't get that today. We absolutely did not get that. And I think that Oracle just backed up everything that the hyperscaler said. And Oracle has been the weak link out of all of them. And as the weak link, that actually makes them the most important, because the term "you're only as strong as your weakest link" is so true. And for them to put up these type of growth numbers makes it really seem as if this narrative has a very long time to mature. Am I buying? I said if Oracle sells off because I have so much tech, if it goes to 125 and the investment narrative stays the same, I would I would start a position. It didn't. I'm not starting a position tomorrow. But if they decline, if they start going down, I would want to buy it at a little bit cheaper valuation because I'm greedy. Okay. If I was not so exposed to technology, I would probably start buying Oracle. But I have a lot of exposure to tech. And the reality is, I really don't need another tech company. So I was saying that if Oracle sells off and it becomes too cheap to ignore, I would start a position. I'm not seeing that right now. I have no idea what happens. I want to watch it for the next day or two. I could see a situation where their earnings report is a lift for the hyperscalers because it takes a little bit of fear off the table. So I'm reading through some of the comments. Underlying fear for the overall economy is not helping the AI. I don't know that fear in the overall economy has anything to do with the AI narrative right now, only because this is more of a short-term headwind. The biggest thing right now, you got CPI coming out tomorrow. You have a situation where the consensus numbers are likely going to go up a little bit because the report is for February. They're going to give you a guide for March. March numbers will come out in April. We are 10 days through March. We have elevated oil prices. I went to the pump the other day. Gas is up 55 cents. I think I paid $2.98 a couple weeks ago, and I paid $3.48 or something yesterday or the day before. So we're in a situation where the consensus number for March could increase. If it increases, a narrative will likely form that inflation is becoming stickier and it's starting to increase. If the March numbers that we get in April are bad and it actually verifies that, and if we get a hot print with a bigger consensus number, the narrative that inflation is back is going to happen. Oil prices are the most important thing to the market right now, especially with a new Fed chair coming in, because right now CME Group is pricing in one cut rather than two. And we need the price per barrel on oil to get under 75 much sooner rather than later. Oil is the number one component. We do not want input costs. We do not want transportation costs to go up. When that happens, it compresses margins and earnings. We do not want that. So as long as the issue overseas and the Strait of Hormuz opens back up soon and we get oil, look, the sweet spot for oil is always going to be 55 to 65 a barrel. In that sweet spot, everybody wins. So where is oil right now? 82.95. It's a lot better. I mean, we saw a massive seesaw, and I don't think we're getting up to 120 again unless something dire happens. The good thing is the 5-day chart, let me show it. this huge rip higher to 120 was not felt in the overall economy. It needs to stay there for at least a couple of weeks, I believe, for this to really even do anything. One day a spike isn't going to do anything. We need to get the price down under 75. And I think that's going to happen. Don't forget, you got midterms coming up. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't care if you're interested in politics or you love politics. Quite frankly, I hate discussing politics. But sometimes with investing, you have to acknowledge that the political and the macro influence the market. There is no question about that. And there's a midterm coming up. I don't think Republicans want to go in with gas prices high and an economy where stagflation is the narrative. So I think this is going to come down. I really do. If we go back and we look at where it went to with the Russia-Ukraine war, it was a fairly long spike up. I mean, it took from December of 21, took 3 months to reach it, and then another 3 months until it really started coming back down. So you had a good 6 months of hell right there with oil prices. If this becomes a blip that gets back under the 75 and it's only 2 weeks, this is going to be a nothing burger, and that's what we want. We want something that's going to be a nothing burger on this. I'm not saying, Lena, I'm not saying the war is going to end anytime soon. All I'm talking about is the Strait of Hormuz. That needs to be open. Regardless of what happens overseas in Iran, the Strait of Hormuz needs to reopen. The biggest component right now is the insurance companies not insuring the tankers. We need that to happen. So I feel like Steve talks about politics like he drives a car. Very funny. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of months. We do have a new Fed chair coming in. Do have some new news, though. This is interesting. So U.S. crude stockpile fell 1.7 million barrels. A surprise draw. I mean, this increased. So commercial stockpiles for the week ending March 6th after rising 5.6 million the previous week. We are seeing a little bit of a drawdown. I will pay attention to this very carefully, and I will report back in a week and see where we are. I'll make sure I get the numbers for drawdowns on here. But it looks like the futures are up. The NASDAQ is up 95. The S&P is up 24. The Dow's up 140. I think the market liked Oracle's earnings. I really do. I'll disagree on that. Rate cuts absolutely will help the housing market. Absolutely. You want rates lower for the housing market. You don't want rates at 7-8% for mortgages. And I get it. Conventional wisdom would say more supply on the market. There's not enough supply on the market right now. That's why you have these crazy prices. People are not moving because they're locked into 3% mortgages. If they move and take out 7-8%, there's no point in doing that unless you're moving for a job. You want rate cuts. Yeah, listen, you get rate cuts and you get mortgages down to 4.5%, 5%, floodgates are going to open for the housing market. And don't forget, the home builders need lower cost of capital to buy. That's the other thing. You don't have them building as much now. When are rate cuts? Let's see. I'll bring up CME Group. We'll look together. Let me bring it up. Yeah, this is not good. The chances of a rate cut in July is down to 41.4%. So call it 50% chance you get a rate cut in July. Or by July, I should say. There's only a 75% chance that you get a rate cut by September. We're at 50%. We get 2 rate cuts this year. 50% right now. Man, how quickly that's changed. Property taxes are a huge hurdle. And look at what DeSantis just did in Florida. If that actually gets pulled off, maybe that becomes a model for the other states. Trust me, I hate property taxes. What do you mean muted? You can't hear me? I didn't hit anything. Oh, God. Lena, I am the president of the HOA. And so you would probably hate me. I'm the one that delivers the bad news. It's such a scam. Oh boy. Oh boy. I didn't run. I got appointed because there was an open seat. And then I that was like a decade ago. I've been on the board and I've been the president for the past 5 years, I think. Yes, I am going to get another streaming setup. I'm going to get a Sherm mic. I haven't got around to it yet. HOA Mafia. There is an HOA board meeting on Thursday night. And if you saw what I have to go through, you would not wish that upon anyone. Green market overnight. I really like this. And we had, where do we have Bitcoin today? 70,000 Bitcoin's holding. I wish I could live stream an HOA meeting. That'd be hilarious. Right now, we're waiting on Adobe. Adobe is on Thursday, and then I guess there's really no more for earnings season. We got Broadcom, we got Oracle, now we need Adobe, we got Salesforce. Overall, I think this is a B plus or A minus earnings season. We really didn't have anybody that missed to the downside. The only blemish that we really have at this point is Amazon coming out and the street taking their 200 billion of capex and saying that they're scared about negative free cash flow, and Microsoft putting up 38% in intelligent cloud growth when the street wanted 40%. So this is a good earnings season. What the hell is up with SoFi? When does this wake up? I don't know. So for those of you asking about BMNR, I am going to plug something. Don't hate me for this, okay? I can't believe I only have 4 comments on this. So I wrote an article last night about BMNR. Came out this morning on Seeking Alpha. If you're interested, I think it was a really good article that I wrote. I'm still in it. I bought more. I gave my bullish synopsis on it. If you're interested, I think it's worth the read. But back to SoFi. My opinion is that SoFi is being treated as a bank. SoFi being treated as a bank, it's actually trading at a halfway decent valuation. If you consider a technology company, it is not trading at a good valuation. But if you go off of how banks are traditionally valued, off of tangible book value and earnings, it's got to, I don't want to say rich, but it's getting a multiple. Let me try to find the sheet. And, we may have reached out to somebody to come on basis points. So I have no idea what's going to happen. But we may have reached out to somebody. Here we go. I think this is it. Yep, this is it. All right, so right now, and this is only if you consider SoFi a bank, okay? If you consider them a bank, look at all the other banks that I put them up against. There's only 2 out of 18 that have a tangible book value multiple of more than 2.5x. There's only 5 of them that have more than a 2x multiple. SoFi has the largest multiple on tangible book value. Now, when you look at their multiple on earnings, they are expected, the street is expecting 60 cents this year. They're trading it 30.5 times earnings, where the next one in the group is trading at less than 15 times earnings. So I don't know why it sounds like I'm yelling. My mic's the same. I'm talking the same way. So, and I did move my mic a little forward. Maybe I'll move it back. Is that better? Anyway, if you look at them as a financial institution, you look at them as a bank, they're getting a bid. They're getting a multiple. Is it the multiple that I want or everybody in the chat wants? No. We want 30, 40, 50. But we got to be objective. We can't say they're not getting a multiple. Now, if we consider them a tech company, we consider them a unicorn, if we consider them a company that's growing earnings by 40% plus, if we consider them a company that's growing revenue at 30% plus, it looks cheap at 30 times earnings. It looks very cheap. It's all the interpretation of the market. Lena, don't ask me about my sleep score. That's way too personal. No, in all serious, my sleep score is probably for shit. It's probably horrible. I have no idea. But this is where I think I'm the outcast on SoFi, because I can look at them both ways. I can see the argument that they're a financial institution and should be valued as one because the majority of their revenue is generated and the majority of their profitability is generated from traditional banking activity, lending, and financial services. We need the tech platform to really do something. And that's been the key to my investment thesis on SoFi. We need SoFi to cross-sell its tech platform. It's the only one that I know of that owns the entire back end from Galileo to Technesis. You have the payment rails, you have the cyberbank platform. We know that they are in several large scale RFPs. Noto came out in Q3 and said Q1 2026, we expect to announce some RFPs that we won. Well, we just got Q4. We're going to get Q1 end of April. We need, oh God, PB. Never ask Milkman what his weight is and what his SAT and ACT score was. Why not what my weight is? I don't care. So I am hoping and I am praying that they come out and they say that they are now powering USB or Citibank or somebody big or Wells, because that would mean not only are they saving 60 to 80 million a year in costs by owning the back end, not only are they deploying as quickly as they want to, they are powering their competitors. That's always been a very big use case for me. It's always been a very big investment thesis for me because it truly proves that they're a fintech, not just a financial institution. I also think we need business banking and we need wealth management and 401k management. I think those are critical for SoFi. Noto backstopped it. I would love to have a conversation with Noto. I will say that I reached out to him. Him and I were in contact, and he asked me to send him something. That's all I'm going to say on that. I have no idea if he's coming on basis points or not, but the official invite went out, so we'll see what happens. I mean, we got Vlad, and I think with Vlad coming on, there's a halfway decent chance of Noto coming on. But who knows? He may not. What happened with Blue Owl? I didn't look at it today. Let me look. Blackstone and Blue Owl team up to acquire a minority stake in Atlas Holdings, a private equity firm that specializes in complex situations. The company said on Tuesday financial terms of the transaction weren't disclosed. The investment was made through Blackstone GP, which stands for General Partner Stakes, and Blue Owl GP Strategic Capital Units, according to the statement. I'll put that on my list to look into. G Money has $5 December 26 puts. Jesus. That's pretty wild. It's not for me. Not for me. I don't do the whole put game. As Tommy Dimes will tell you, going against the grain is just bad karma. All right, what else is happening now? Oh, it looks like we got news from Dan Ives, Weber security analyst Dan Ives, pushed back against the ongoing software sector sell-off Tuesday, calling it the most disconnected technology trade he has seen in 15 to 20 years. I agree with that. I don't believe ships are going through the strait at the moment. Earlier in the day, there was a report that a U.S. ship did go through, but then press secretary came out and said it was not true. So I am waiting to try to get confirmation. I mean, I'll go to oilprice.com and see if there's anything on there. I'm not seeing anything. No, I mean, look, I'm not over there. I have no idea what ships are doing, but based on the price of oil, I don't think anything's really moving through there. So I wouldn't, this isn't a time to say what may or may not be happening. We got to wait for real news to come out with that. I need to hear 6 p.m. at the AI party right now. All right. It's 6 p.m. at the AI party right now. I mean, I think that I'm more bullish than Ives, and I don't even think we went to dinner yet. I think Ives has us at dinner while I have us getting in the car to go to dinner. I think there's a long runway of this left. You got robots, you got FSD, you got data centers, you have agentic AI. There's just so much of it. I do not know all. Do not start thinking I know all. I'm not that smart. I don't know why everybody thinks I'm smart. I'm really not. I just do a lot of research, but I do firmly believe that the SaaS narrative is overblown. I am glad I got out of service now. I know it went down. Let's see where it is now. Service now. 116.61. I got out at the top of the bump. I don't know if I'm coming back in. I do not know. And Salesforce is, oh God. We got to discuss Salesforce for a moment, everyone. We have reports that Salesforce is debating borrowing. Let me read it directly. Salesforce is planning to sell up to $25 billion of debt to fund a stock buyback. Who does that? Oh, wait, I know who does that. Companies who believe that they're going to get a better ROI borrowing to buy back shares because they'd rather pay the points on the debt. So they think the stock is that undervalued that they are willing to borrow $25 billion just to buy shares. I mean, I think that's bullish. I mean, what's the juice on that? What are we going to say they're going to get hit with? Going to get hit with maybe 5.5% on that? So we're talking about 1.25 billion in annualized interest. Oh, they did over 14 billion in free cash flow in the trailing 12. They can afford this. 25 buying back 25%, 25 billion of shares right now. Market cap is under 200 billion. You're basically talking about an eighth of the company buyback if they were to do that in one shot. That would be super creative for EPS. I don't hate the move. I don't hate the move. Tommy Dimes. I'm starting to believe SoFi's next big move won't happen until S&P 500 inclusion. Maybe. Tommy, what I'm more interested in is what are the races tomorrow you're looking at? That's what I want to know. Tell me about the ponies. Have I seen the movie Porky's? Yes, I have. Was that like late 70s, early 80s? Yeah, I'm thinking about Salesforce right now, and I've been bullish, but man, maybe I'll buy more. If they're going to do this, maybe I'll buy more. The more I think about it, the more I like the move. I think it's very interesting. I think it's bullish. So we'll see. I have not seen the new Scream movie. I don't think I've seen any of them since the first one. All right, let me see in the chat. SoFi or Hood, just put the ticker in. You know what? There's an easier way to do that. And no, I have not bought Hood yet. I'm going to go on the YouTube channel. I'm going to put a poll in. I am interested to see if the chat likes SoFi or Hood. All right. All right, start a poll. All right. Which would you rather buy? SoFi or Hood? Gotta choose one. Can't buy both. Gotta choose one. And I'm not going to be biased just because I interviewed Vlad. I will tell you exactly which one I'd be buying. Wow, you guys are down the middle. Holy cow. Down the middle. I'm surprised how close this is. Damn. Let's check. Let's check if I'm off the wait list. We're going to have a party when I get off the wait list. How about that? I'm still on the wait list, everyone. Still on the wait list. All right, I'm going to let the poll go for another minute, and then we will close it out. You're Raven. You're right. Vlad is punishing me for not being a shareholder. 100%. 100%. Steve pays his bill. Probably. I do not use Reddit. I have no idea why people like that website or stock. I don't know. All right, we're going to end the poll. Get to the voting booth. Cast your last votes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending poll. This is interesting. 55% SoFi, 45% Hood, 154 votes. I got to tell you, I'm impressed. I thought it was going to be a little lopsided. Hollis, if I get a Robinhood Gold card, by the time I get out to California, I will buy his drinks with it. 100%. Watch Amit sitting there texting. Get him off the wait list. He's buying drinks. I'm not an emerging markets guy. I will tell you this. I am in SPEM. It's a State Street Emerging Market Fund, SPEM. So I'm in that. That's my only emerging market play. Billy Jack, thank you. That's the only one that I'm in. I don't follow emerging markets that hard. So I take just the basket approach, just as kind of a hedge. I want to see if I have any memberships I can give out. Give me a sec. Matt showed me this the other day. Okay, I've sent all the free memberships I had this month. So once it resets, I will gift more memberships. Melanie, what's going on? Chels, I will do a dedicated stream on the dividend portfolio one day. I got to get back into it. I got a feeling, and I can't say anything yet. I got a feeling in a couple of weeks, people are going to be very happy. George, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Truly appreciate it. I got a feeling the people that watch the channel are going to be really happy in a couple of weeks. And that's all I can say right now. I got some interesting things I'm going to share, figuring out some different content and more content in a more, let's just say, unique schedule. More importantly, as a community, we may have to do a special stream either Sunday or Tuesday. So when is Selection Sunday? Is that this week? Let's see. March 15th. So not this weekend, next weekend. We're going to have to do a milkman team bracket. And I did talk to my accountant. I am not allowed to run a bracket with everybody. So I'm still trying to figure out a way around it. Maybe I can set something up on ESPN and give a prize out instead of cash. We'll figure it out. But I would like to do the same thing we did for the beginning of the year stock bracket. I want to do the same thing for the NCAA and submit a bracket on ESPN for it. And oh, look at this. A lot of people in the NCAA love it. Love it, love it. March Madness is my favorite time of the year. Is this Sunday? That's what I thought. Hollis, you do a big one every year? Hollis, send me a message on X if you're doing a big one for cash, please. I am not picking the Gators to go all the way. That is not happening. I need to do a bunch of research over the next couple of days. But I love March Madness, my favorite time of the year. All right, so let's see what's going on in the market right now. 1-900 Steve, $10 a minute. That's funny. Oh, Maddie may be interested in this. Chevron and Shell are close to securing the first big oil production deals with Venezuela since the U.S. capture of President Maduro in January. Chevron and Venezuela's energy authorities reportedly have agreed on preliminary terms to expand the company's largest oil project, Petropierre, in the Orinoco Belt. The deal would give Chevron the rights to produce from whatever this is, area locked south of the Petropierre area. Interesting. Everything revolves around oil. Everything. That's why oil prices are so freaking important. Yes, I do like basketball. Why is that shocking? I'm in VG. I'm not buying more, but I'm in VG right now. I've been in VG. Let's see. Baker Hughes, Schlumberger. Yep, yep. I actually like Schlumberger here. I know a lot of you were in VG. VG popped. I'm glad everybody made money on that one. GEV. Why does that sound familiar, Tommy? Oh, GE for no. No, I'm not in that. Did anybody who listened to the Oracle earnings call? I got a little annoyed with the questions. I think there was too many softball questions. So one of the things that management said on the earnings call for Oracle was that they're over delivering fiscal year 26 revenue and earnings, and we are consistently raising our 27 forecast. I mean, I do say Oracle's very interesting long term. Maybe we bottomed. I could have swore they were going to freaking sell off after hours. They didn't. But they got a tremendous amount of growth and they can sustain this type of build out. Not many companies can. I did not. Meta's buying somebody else? Who the hell's Meta buying? What is Zuck doing? Hold on. Meta buys AI giant, AI agent social networking platform Moltbook. What the hell is Moltbook? Meta has acquired Moltbook, a social networking platform for AI agents, for an undisclosed sum. Moltbook's creators will join Meta Superintelligent Labs. The deal is expected to close mid-March. Meta says with Moltbook founders starting at MSL March 16th. Yeah, but why is this important? Meta to start charging advertisers location fees in certain European countries. That's hilarious. Undisclosed amount. They didn't say how much. Everybody knows I'm a big Meta fan. Zuck can do no wrong in my eyes. Let him spend the money. Let him spend. Our bots can be friends. Maybe. Yeah, I think AMD's a good stock. I think it's a great company. I'm not buying it though. I'm not buying a hood chair. Vlad needs to upgrade me to gold before I buy anything. Metaverse for AI bots? Oh boy. Let's not say that. Hopefully it's agents for Instagram and other stuff. Oh man. A hood chair. I would buy a hood chair over an Apple stock for my iPhone, 100%. I am not coming to GTC. I am coming to LA the following week for the meetup. No, my work has not been impacted by AI. Somebody had asked me earlier if I could look at Open Door. I really don't want to. I'm not a fan of the company. At some point, maybe I will, but it's not for me. Both of them said they had a way for me to get a card. I asked the CEO if he knew anybody to get me a card. Maybe I'll get a card one day. It's okay. Oh, G Money, mint chocolate chip. Hands down, no questions about it. Baskin Robbins mint chocolate chip is fire. So I started looking at the airlines in case oil was going to be higher for longer. And the one that I actually liked was Delta because they own their own refinery in Pennsylvania. So I figured if oil stayed longer for higher, it would help them with the crack spread for jet fuel and they'd be able to save a decent amount. None of the airlines are hedging oil prices, but owning the refinery gives them a little bit of protection. I don't know that oil prices are staying high enough for long enough for the airlines to get to a point where I'd want to buy them. I previously worked at a public company. I can actually say I have. The public company I worked at was extremely large. Ben and Jerry's got some fire flavors. I will tell you that right now. Fire. Let's see. Roblox is going to bounce at 55. What's Roblox doing? Why is Roblox going straight down? I don't follow this company. I should with the amount my nephew spends on Roblox. Every time he sees me, he hits me up for Roblox. Every time. Let's see. What the hell is going on with the numbers here? Let's look. Let's look at Roblox Live. Let's see if we can go dumpster diving on this. So I got it on the quarterly view. Don't like the gross profit. Still losing money. How the hell are they losing money? How the hell is there? Okay. The cost of revenue to run it is insane. Good amount of R&D. Okay. Balance sheet. $3 billion on hand. Where's their debt at? Billion in debt, so cash rich at $2 billion. Okay. Not a lot of interest expenses. Is the executive team greedy? Let's say. I'd say that's not great when you're losing money in stock-based compensation is $300 million a year. That's not great. They are free cash flow positive. I want to see freaking net income though. It's about 310 million in free cash flow, negative 316 in net income. Where's the street have this? Losing money this year and next year. Great. I don't know. I don't know why Roblox shot up so much. The numbers suck. If anybody knows why, let me know. I think the numbers are bad. You complained about being on the wait list on X until Robinhood DM'd you. Maybe I'll take to the streets. Oh, thank you for the new member. Really appreciate it. I think there's easier plays. I don't want to be taking flyers on stuff if I don't have to. The one I'm taking a flyer on right now is Zeta, and I don't even feel like I'm taking a flyer on it. I really think Zeta is going to do big things. I'm very bullish on Zeta. The earnings report was incredible. I think this is going to be a very strong year for them. Look at all you getting a gold card. Very jealous. Very jealous. I'm not sure. I mean, look, Lockheed Martin's always a great company. I don't know about the valuation here. Raytheon's always a great company. I feel like the time to buy them was a year or two ago. Let me see where LMT is. Yeah, Lockheed at 650. I mean, I just feel like the run has happened. T-Rex, I'm not even sure what that is. Let me look. TREX. Oh, is this the construction company? I can't say anything. I don't know about anything about them. I didn't buy Oracle, Black Mamba. I said I was going to buy them if they went to 125. I did not buy them. I have a lot of long-term positions. If CRM borrows to do the buyback, yes, I believe they'll still be able to pay the dividend. They generate 14 billion in free cash flow. We ran the math. If they borrow 25 billion at 5%, that's about 1.25 billion in interest expenses. And with their growth, it should not impact the dividend one bit. Transmedics, I don't know anything about them. You're better off asking Gemini. I know nothing about them. I do not follow URI. No. Imagine Denzel doing the Equalizer 2 scene with the Robin Hood card. That'd be pretty fire. So I like ARCC. I bought more of it last week. It's a great BDC. It's the gold standard. I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the dividend. I'm still in it. And crude is at 83. 83. I mean, SmackDown, that's a great buy. VG at 650. I think I got in under 6 or right around 6. Yeah, like I said, we got to see what happens overseas. That's definitely not great. Ooh, this is interesting. Eli Lilly has said that monthly out of pocket cost for some Medicare enrollees taking its weight loss and obesity drugs could exceed $50 cap. Interesting. Yeah, Matt's, listen, nobody knows the oil patch better than that guy. He is super smart. Tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day. I want to see if Amazon, Alphabet, and Microsoft go up on Oracle news. I really do. I wonder if let's see what we can find real quick. If any analysts were talking about Oracle today on CNBC, because I have not watched CNBC at all today. Anybody say anything worth watching? Hold on. Did I can't believe they don't have any videos on CNBC about Oracle's earnings. That's crazy. Hmm. I'm a little surprised about that. A little surprised. All right, so what stocks am I not following that everyone is interested in that I should? And you know, I'm not a big small cap person, but I'm willing to look at a couple at some point. So let me know. I'm always looking for new ideas. I'm staying away from Nike. I love Philip Morris. I like Eden, Taiwan Semi. So a lot of people like Path. I will put that on the list. Path. Man, a lot of you just want me to freaking buy Hood. POWL. Viking Therapeutics. Oh my God. No way. Joby. No, I'm not doing Neo. Hood and Symbiotic. I am planning on doing Hood again. I am not sure if Ken's allowed to come back on. In all seriousness, Charles, he has where he works now. I think he has restrictions on stuff. I will ask him, but I don't think he can come on at this point. He now works at a different company. Kimberly Clark, no, that's dead money. My opinion, dead money. Used to be a great dividend, but I mean, that thing is dead money. It's still a great dividend, but it's dead money. No. Biotech Ken does not find his way around those restrictions. He was in between places when he came on. He was not under any lockup periods or restrictions in what he can buy and what he can say. Reddit, fine. We'll do Reddit live and then we're gonna call it. So hold on. Maybe I'm being silly with Reddit. I don't know. Let's find out. $6 billion company. Short interest over 10%. Stock is fallen 250 to 134. I mean, significant. Down over 40% year to date. Okay. Huge growth. Was that like 70% year over year growth? Huge growth. Gigantic gross profit. Unlike Roblox, running Reddit is not expensive. SG&A costs skyrocketed. Huge R&D costs. All right, somebody answer me this. Why does Reddit need such high R&D? What the hell they aren't doing with R&D? Doesn't that seem expensive? $750 million on freaking R&D. Somebody needs to explain that to me. So they flipped operating income. That's bullish. Love that. Go to the beginning of the video for my thoughts on Oracle. I'm not doing it again. It's at the beginning of the video. I'll probably make a regular dedicated video, but all right. So earnings, net income. All right. $6 billion company making $500 million net income is interesting. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not a $6 billion. I was looking at the wrong thing. $26 billion company, 6 million volume. Losing my freaking mind. All right, that makes more sense. See, I look at the net income like there's no way. 6 billion. I made a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. 457 million in EBITDA. I don't like when net income is more than EBITDA, and here's why. They got write-offs and write-downs or something propping up net income. That's a red flag to me. Earnings before everything else should be higher. So where is it? Not sure. Not sure where the difference is. It's going to be embedded here. I have to go through the 10K. All right. Balance sheet. $2.5 billion cash. No debt. Really? The only debt's capital leases? All right. Look, that's interesting. Got $3 billion in equity. All right. That's nice. Cash flow. A lot of stock-based compensation being paid. You got the majority of profitability going to SBC. Big spread. They don't have to pay a lot for property, plant, and equipment. That's great. Buying back shares, I like that. All right. Big earnings growth. Definitely doesn't look that expensive for that much earnings growth. Huge revenue growth this year, 30 analysts. All right, Reddit's somewhat interesting. I still don't understand why people use the site, but the numbers aren't horrible. Let's look at the option market. So 134. Let's go out a month. Go out a month by start every contract. $10 spread makes 7% on the equity and get paid $9.50 on the freaking equity on top. Reddit may be interesting for a play to run right cover calls on. That's interesting. The problem is this does not look like a company that's bottomed. The reason I say that, and you guys, I know you love my TA, right? My TA is freaking world-class TA. This does not look like a company that's bottomed. They got down, start rebounding, and they broke through. That's the level of my TA. It's beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful. I'm not sure that this can stay at these levels. This could potentially go further. Maybe, I don't even know where you call the next level of resistance. 100? I mean, it seems like that 140 level is like a hard line, but it dipped below it, so I don't know. It is interesting. I will give you that, whoever said look at Reddit. It is interesting from a perspective of the options are incredibly lucrative. I don't know what the bear case is, other than the site is freaking ridiculous. Like, why would you go to a message board when you can talk to an LLM? I don't understand it. Tomorrow's CPI is not nearly as important as the consensus for March. It's all about the consensus number because of oil. That's all that matters. You bought Hood, very nice. I like that play. Bear cases ad spending can slow down. Sure. All right, everyone. We're going to get going. To sum it up, Oracle, very interesting. I think it was a great quarter. I think that this is going to take a little bit of air out of the sails from the Bears. I don't think that Oracle gave them a lot to feast on, which I'm happy about. Listen, William painted that for me, so I'm hanging it. Milkman with the cow. Oh, listen, look at this guy. Hold on a sec. Maybe we'll stay on for another 15, 20 minutes if he wants to make an appearance. Is he going to make an appearance? Let's see. Senor Matt, let me see a blue check mark go on the message. If I see a blue check mark, that means you're coming. The people want to know, will the White House quant bless us with his presence? You know, Michelle. By the way, Michelle, I gotta show you something. I gotta figure out how to send you something. I'll just put it on the group text. Maddie, the people want to know your thoughts. I don't think we have a quant incoming, everyone. I do not see a blue check mark. We're going to tell the White House that you're no longer the White House quant. I am not going to call Amit right now. It is past 10 o'clock. He could be in bed trying to sleep. He needs his sleep. Michelle, I don't know how to WhatsApp you. I know how to send things to the group chat. That's the best you're going to get out of me. Like, I don't know how to do these things. I'm not cool. I'm not part. I have gray in my beard. Okay. Would I ever start doing a market open stream or market close? No, I would not. Two reasons. One, I'm at the office. Two, I'm not doing something at the same time as Amit because there is not a reason in the world for me to stream at the same time as him and try to draw people away from him. That's not what friends do. Not doing that to him. And quite frankly, the only reason I did Oracle today is because I thought he was doing Technical Tuesday. Yeah, I mean, you guys can call me anytime. If I'm available to pick up, I will, but I'm not gonna try streaming at the same time as him. I'm not trying to take money off his plate or try to hurt his stream. Absolutely not. He's my boy. Not doing that. Live in traffic podcast in Manhattan. We may be able to arrange that, Dookie. We may be able to arrange that. I think we may be able to arrange that. Call it road rage with Steven. I mean, we definitely could. We definitely could. Very funny. I'm sure that would get me traffic, get me tickets, get the blood pumping. You need craps tips before going to Vegas. I mean, I'll tell you one time what you do. Once a month or once a week, you can figure it out. We can figure something out. So, Who said that they need crap tips? Hold on. Het 711. Have you ever played craps before? Because I will give you the very good big crash course, but I need to know if you've ever played. Like that's the big thing. Like my strategy is it makes more sense if you've actually Matt, what are you doing? What are you doing? Okay. So no, I don't think a casino is going to let AI gamble for you, Hollis. All right, this is what you do. Increments of 10 or 25, it doesn't matter. I don't know what table you go to. If you go to a $10 table, you throw 10 on the pass line and 2 on any crap. That means that if a 7 or 11 is rolled, you make your 10 on the pass line, you lose your 2 on any crap, you're net plus $8 on that roll. If a 2, 3, or 12 come out, you get craps. Your $10 pass line goes away, but you make 7 to 1 odds on any craps, you get paid 14. You throw 10 back on the pass line, your $2 bet stays up, you pocket 4. So you're net plus 4. You always do increments of 2 for every 10. $2 on any crap for every 10 you have on the pass line as insurance. Then we move to the point. Point gets established. You place every other number. Let's say a 4 is rolled. You now place the 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. The reason you do that, and you do not listen to all these people who think they know what they're talking about when it comes to the come bet, is because you have to hit the number twice for you to win on the come bet. The only reason the come bet is good is because if a 7 gets rolled and somebody sevens out, whatever money's on that come line, you win. That's the only reason it's anywhere good. Now, a 7 has 6 combinations of coming out on 2 dice, which is 16.67% chance, 6 out of 36. When you place the additional numbers and you have the 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10, you now have 24 out of 36 combinations of coming out, which is 66.67% chance. You now have a 50% edge over the house every time you roll the dice. The good thing about this is, based on the paying structure of those placed bets with the odds, you need roughly 4 numbers to hit for the entire slate to be paid for, and then you're in the money. Once you're in the money and you get your money back, what I like to do is I like to tell the dealer to go up a unit every number that gets hit from the entire duration out. And that's what I play. It's the best way to stay afloat. No, Tommy, I do not bet the field. No. I mean, you can tell I've been to the craps table one too many times, right? Dookie Pie, really? Tanner and I are too shy. It's not nice. Yes, 6 and 8 have the most chances to hit next to 7. They both have 5 out of 36 combinations. You're 100% correct. But due to the odd structure and due to gaining an edge over the house, mathematically it works out to place the rest of the numbers in addition to having the point. It's mathematics. Hollis, my strategy, I do believe, is the best strategy for craps. You're not going to go that far into the hole. You're not going to make a lot. It is a strategy to be able to manufacture comps and have a good time. I'm not going hard ways. I'm not doing any of those happy bets. I like Nebius better than CoreWeave. I'm in Nebius, but I would look at CoreWeave again for the community. Not tonight, but I would look at CoreWeave again. You don't want to play poker with me, Tommy. I become a freaking animal. Like my family does not like playing cards with me. Like we play. Tommy, you ever play? I'm pretty sure you've played Gin or Rummy 300 or something. There's a game called May I. It's a version of Gin. It's a 7-round game, and I get mad when people throw the wrong cards. Like I memorize what everybody's holding. Like I'm purposely throwing the person that goes after me crap every time. So I memorize what's in their hand based on what they pick up. And we play spades, play setback, same shit. Nobody wants to play with me because I am just a terror with that stuff. Yeah, I like May I better than Gin. I like setback the most. Setback is, oh my God. We used to play freaking setback for hours and team setback. Oh, spent a little bit of time playing cards, Tommy. AC Deucey, yeah. Yep. Bam scored 83. Crazy. What a great time. What a great time. Got March Madness coming up, Selection Sunday. Records are meant to be broken. I'm a huge Kobe fan. Records are made to be broken. I take cash, checks, credit cards, and jewelry. I like that. Hollis, I cannot believe the meetup is from 6 to 12. That means it's 9 to 3 in the morning, my time. Amit be crazy. I'll find out if there's going to be TVs to show the games. Is March Madness will still be going on? I need Luca to do something, Dookie. I made some investments in Luca cards. I need Luca to do something. Bought a bunch of his rookies. Yeah, I got up at like 5 a.m. for basis points. I did, only for Vlad. It's the only time we can make everything work. Trust me, I'm going to be reaching out to Portnoy at some point to see if we can get him on basis points. And if we get him on basis points, I'm going to try to sneak him onto a review or something. We'll see. get Joe Rogan. I don't know if we got that type of juice, Dookie, but that would be freaking phenomenal. Though here's the problem with getting Rogan, okay? Problem with getting Rogan is him and I would talk about fighting the whole time. The whole time. As a MMA fan for over 20 years, I would be talking to him about the Pride days. I would be talking to him about right kick hospital, left kick cemetery, Mirko Crocap. And, I would love to talk to Rogan. Love to. I would ask him so many questions about MMA. Jake Paul could be interesting. I got to tell you, if for some reason he makes Jones and Ngannou happen, that would just be crazy. Crazy. Do you back your bet on the pass line? I do. So I take max odds on 6 and 8. I take 60% odds on 5 and 9 and 30% odds on 4 and 10. Uh, yeah, I'd probably like to stay away from political guests, but I wouldn't be I guess I may not be opposed to it, but I don't know. I gotta talk to him. I'll talk to Amit about that. I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't know. I really want to keep everything business and stocks, business and markets. So, Tommy, once you are even, so usually it's 4 or 5 hits to your even. I then tell the dealer to go up a unit everything that hits. Oh, Maddie, they have the studio built a green room now. The green room is finished. Lisa Sue would be great. 100%. Lisa Sue would be awesome. Yeah, I don't know. We will we'll see. I don't think I'm gonna push for the whole political thing. It's just not what I really want to do. I really want to stay with markets and business. I would like to get O'Leary on. I would like to get Cuban on. The question I would have for Mark Cuban is he figured out streaming before streaming was a thing. I mean, he started with figuring out how to listen to Indiana basketball. I would love to find out what he thinks about how much it's evolved and how much he sold it to for AOL. I mean, Jesus. Looking back on it, I mean, he's a pioneer, but now it just seems like you think about it, like you got paid billions for what? Crazy. Yeah, Charles, I agree. I think it is going to. I'm pretty sure it's going to stay like that. I would love to get Iceman on. Steve Iceman would be freaking great. Carell's. I watched The Big Short not too long ago. Such a good movie. Tommy, I like Borgata. I used to go to Harrah's a little bit, but we moved away from the Caesar's ecosystem. Our host went to Borgata, so we're now in MGM. Yeah, daylight savings time sucks. Absolutely sucks. Yeah, I wish we could just freaking same time every year. We don't need to go back and forth, back and forth. Never been to Red Rock. What is going on here? 120, what is that? 125 milligram of melatonin? Why are we taking melatonin? Or unless melatonin is code word for something else. Sleep score cheating. I mean, the real question is that Tanner approved. Tomorrow night, everyone, don't forget, around 9:15, Sleep Corner with Tanner tomorrow night. Don't forget. At the end of our show, I'm making him give out sleep tips. Sleep Corner with Tanner. Yeah, seriously. We've had him do Sleep Corner for the past 3 weeks or so. If I remember the tips correctly, it's keep the room cold. The bedroom is only for sleeping, no TV, no digital clocks with lights. It needs to be as dark as possible, and no eating in bed. I think those are the 3 sleep things with Tanner. Yeah, the no TV in the room is freaking crazy. Oh, yeah, yes. Thank you, Michelle. No pets on the bed, no pets in the room. Yep. So we got 4. So this week's number 5. Let's see. I can't wait to see what he says for number 5. Tanner acts like he's 65. He's not even 30. He does act like a senior. He does. Oh yeah, no phone in bed. That's right. He did say that. Oh yes, and he said you have to have a king size bed. He said the extra room is very important. I don't think we did a. I don't think we did one. Just so everybody knows. Just so everybody knows. Okay. United States Department of State has received my application for my passport book, and they are now reviewing the application and supporting documents. It's not a no. It is not a no. Chris Patel is going to be wrong. I'm telling you right now. I'm going to get a new passport. I'm excited to get a passport. That way I can say, you know what, is definitively done with. Vlad did not get me the card. Nope, not yet. You know, I would have thought, but he's a busy guy. He's a busy guy. I mean, I had a passport. I just let it expire. So it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. I did not. Come on. I did not purchase a gold card for citizenship. Come on. Dookie, seriously? Hairspray? Does it look. Seriously, come on. There's no hairspray in my hair. Like, there's no hairspray. I don't know. Like, I comb my hair when it's wet and I just let it dry. And then, I don't know. Usually, when I stream at night, I take a shower before I stream and wake up again. I didn't shower before the stream, so my hair didn't look wet, but it just dries in place like that. Um, have you ever seen Sons of Anarchy? I wanted to grow my hair like Jax. I decided not to. I think that I would get murdered if I tried doing that. I'm the worst with getting a haircut. Probably every 6, 7 weeks. I should probably go every month. I do own Nebius, yes. Later, Tommy. All right, everyone. We're going to get going. I got a few things to do before I hit the sheets. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all you that hung out the whole time. And we'll be back. Dookie trying to make me laugh. And a headband and wristbands. Are we going back to the 80s? 80s, go back to 80s. Tanner and I will be live tomorrow night. We'll be breaking down a bunch of things. I have a list of things I want to look at before the show. We are going to get the next sleep tip from Tanner tomorrow night that I am very excited about. I may even charge my Apple Watch right now and wear it to bed so I can try to figure out a sleep score with him. See what happens. I'm the worst, though. My sleeping is horrible. I think I sleep 5 or 6 hours a night. It's horrible. Need to try to sleep more. Just things get in the way. You know what I mean? Things just get in the way of sleep. I don't know. But, Dookie, don't tell me that. Is that I'm going to want to watch freaking Luca? June, that's a great idea. Maybe we can start making sheets and stamping Tanner approved on them. Well, I got to be a Lakers fan because of Luka, so made a big investment in him and need him to pay off. Anyway, thank you everybody for joining. Really appreciate it. Tomorrow, we will absolutely be back. 8 p.m., I believe, if I'm not mistaken. 8 p.m. tomorrow. And we'll go from there. All right, everyone. Thank you. Have a great rest of the evening. If you're going to the LA meetup, I will see you out there. I will not be bringing milk. I need to come up with a funny sign-off thing. I will work on it. All right, everyone. Tomorrow is a new day. Hopefully the markets are green. I think it's going to be good because of Oracle. I don't think we're going to see a huge sell-off in the hyperscalers. Excited. Have a great night. Thank you very much.